Hello everybody, today we're doing a video for GTA Car Kits in a 2014 Mercedes SLK, and today we're going to show you how to install our Apple CarPlay and Android Auto kit. As you can see, it's already installed into this car. It's been paired to our iPhone wirelessly. You can also pair it to your Android phone wirelessly. You're going to control the entire system with the original controls here in the center console. All of the audio is done through the original Bluetooth of the car, so there's no need to install any extra microphones. The original Mercedes system is still all there, and you can easily switch back to it, so nothing gets disabled. This system also allows you to install a rear view camera if your SLK didn't come with one. And now we're going to show you how to install it into this particular car. So the tools you're going to need is a panel removal tool. This is a T20 Torx on the screwdriver, and this is our hook tool. And of course, you're going to need our product. With using our panel removal tool, the first thing we're going to remove is this leather boot for the shifter. So it has clips that hold it in place, both sides, front and back. So we'll start with the sides. So once you release some, then it becomes easier. So once you release the sides, then you don't need to worry about the front, and we're just going to lift it up. And the point here is that we're going to remove these screws or bolts. So there's 2 on each side, 2 on the passenger, 2 on the drivers. We need to move this shifter down. And in order to do that without starting the car, you can press that yellow clip right there with we're using our T20 Torx. Once you press it down, then you're able to put the shifter. But make sure when you do this that the parking brake is on so the car doesn't roll. So next we open our armrest, and we need to remove this plastic cover here. So we're going to go from the sides. There are 2 clips, so 1 on each side that hold it in place. And then it just slides out like this. And we're doing that because there are 2 more T20 Torx bolts, and that's what we're going to remove right now. So something to note, this car has all different bolts that are removed. So these 2 will be the same as these 2 bigger ones. They're the same length, same thread, and then these 2 will be different. So you should separate them because the other bolts that we're going to remove that hold the stereo in place and that hold the screen in place are all different. So we're just going to remove these ones right now. Now we're going to remove the ones under the shift boot. So as you see, these ones at the front of the shift boot, they're a little shorter. So now we can remove this entire center console, the silver trim. So we're going to start from the back here. I'm going to use our panel removal tool to get underneath and to unclip it. So once you get here, you can also go all the way up with your hands so you can see everything is loose. You're going to carefully maneuver this leather shift boot underneath the panel so it doesn't get ripped or scratched. So we're just going to drop it down. So now we're going to be undoing some connections at the bottom. So we'll start towards the back of the car. There's 1 connection for the roof right here. So the clip is towards the front of the car. So this is the clip that I was pressing. Then we're gonna remove the next one over. It's this one. So you're gonna disconnect the clip. You're gonna disconnect the connection, and then this wire is sitting on the clip. So we're just gonna remove it with the clip. This is for our parking. So this is where the clip is for that one. So we're just gonna press on the clip and disconnect it. So this is the passenger side. So the clip is underneath. There you go. And now carefully maneuver everything, and we have to disconnect everything at the back of this climate control panel. So there are 3 connections there. So over here, the connectors that you need to remove, they have 2 of them have the sliding clips. So you have to press on the clip and then slide it open to unlock it. I'm going to show you how that works. And then the third one, you just have to press on the clip to disconnect it. How these ones work, When they're locked in place, they're like that, and then you have to unlock them. So you press on it and then slide it open and it will disconnect. So now we can see that there are 4 bolts that hold the stereo in place, so 2 on each side. As you can see, they're all T20, and these 4, they're a little bit more shiny and they have a different pitch of thread. So make sure that you use these exact bolts when you're putting they might look exactly the same, but they're not. This is more finer thread. So we're going to remove all 4. Now we're going to remove the vents and the screen because the radio is already ready to come out, but we need to remove this part. So here are these 2 covers, and you can just use your fingers and slide them inside and they will come out. And when you're putting them back, so as you can see, there's a part number here, and one ends with an L, so that's left side, so that's driver's side, and the other one has an R, so that's right side. So this is passenger side. And behind here, you're gonna see 4 T20 Torx, so 2 on each side, and we're gonna remove all of them. So we mentioned this tool earlier, so this is where we're gonna use it because the cavity is deep, and we're gonna use it in order to get these bolts out. And again, these ones are slightly longer than all the other ones, and have this more coarse thread pitch, so make sure that these 4 go exactly right here where the vents are. So now we can grab the vents and they're ready to come out together. So you just pull on them. We can just use our hands. They come out. There's virtually no clips that hold them in place. And now there are 2 final bolts that hold the screen in place. And again, they're different. They're silver. Make sure to put them back in the right spot. So now we can take the screen out, and there are 2 connections that we're going to disconnect. So this one, you just press the clip, and then this video cable, the clip is on the side, so you press that, and then we're going to use our panel removal tool underneath here carefully while you're pressing at the same time. So now we're going to show you everything that comes in our kit. So you have your user manual, you have your wiring diagram. This is our main module. We also have our wireless antenna. We have our video cables. Over here we have our USB cable that is used for updates to the module, and if you want to do CarPlay or Android Auto by the wire, you can use this connection. And then this is our main harness that we're going to connect at the back of the head unit and then into our module. Now we can take the stereo out. Over here at the back of the stereo, so this is the main quad lock harness. That's where we're going to be connecting, so we're going to disconnect that first. There's a clip right here, and that lets you slide the lock open and disconnect the main harness. And we're going to take our harness, and that's what's going to be getting plugged in here. But before we plug it in, we have to transfer over this fiber optic cable. Your Mercedes might not have it, but this has an upgraded sound, so it has it. And we're going to use our tool here to get underneath this clip to unlock it. And then once you unlock it, you just pull it out. You're going to transfer it over into the same spot, so the outer connection here, and just plug it in. And now we're able to right away plug it in at the back of the stereo. So make sure that the harness is unlocked, the lock is unlocked, and then you insert it straight almost all the way in, and then you lock it in place so it's flush with the stereo. And then this main harness, the original one, will go into the female end of our harness. So again, it has to be unlocked. You put it in almost all the way in, and then you lock it in place. So everything lines up. It means you did a secure connection. So these are the 2 ends of our main harness, and they're going to be connecting into our module. And our module will actually be hidden behind the original screen on top here. So what we're going to do is we're going to feed these 2 cables up and behind the screen, so that way we're going to be able to connect it to our module. So we're going to bring it out as much as we can. Next is the video cable. So we're going to be using this gray one right here. So we're going to press on the clip, unlock it, and then we're going to use our panel removal tool to gently get it out of its connection. These are our video cables that came with the kit, so there are two sides. This is on one side, this is a single male end, so this will go into the module, and then on the other side of this cable assembly is one male, one female. So we're gonna connect the original cable into this female end, and then this male will go instead of the original one here. And now we're gonna take this end and we're gonna do the exact same thing we did with our harness. We're gonna route it behind the stereo and up behind the screen. So this is our USB cable, which one end will plug into the module, and then this end, a good spot in this car would be the passenger footwell compartment right here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take this end that connects to the module, we're gonna lift up this plastic and feed this wire through, and now we're gonna catch it on the inside. And as you see, I have it here, and same thing, I'm gonna route it up behind the screen area. When you're putting the head unit back, now you have this extra quad lock harness. So there's plenty of space behind this radio that you just kind of guide it towards the middle and it will all fit. And carefully, we're gonna put the stereo back in. Make sure that underneath there are no wires that are sticking out. As you can see, one is sticking out. So you just tuck it in. Take your time during this step. And you got to insert the stereo so it can go all the way in and the bolt holes line up, which they do. So this is our wireless antenna. So we're going to install it right above the stereo. Over here, make sure that you clean this area. It's all plastic, but it's probably dusty, but we cleaned it. So at this point, you can just stick her down, and then this end will go into our module. You should end up with antenna. This is our video cable. These are the original cables from the screen. Then we have our main harness, second cable from our harness, and our USB. So we're gonna start with connecting all of these into our module. Before connecting everything, you gotta make sure that the switches are set correct. So for this car, it has to be switch number 5 on. Now you're able to connect the power harness, this second CAN harness, the video cable. On the other side, it's gonna be the USB. And the last thing is our wireless antenna. Everything will be hidden here behind the screen. There's plenty of space. We gotta make sure that we first don't lose these original wires to the original screen. And then here, carefully maneuver everything. How it sits here, it's pretty snug, so it's not gonna rattle around. You can use zip ties to make it even more stable. And of course, you have extra zip ties to make all of the wiring more neat. At this point, we're gonna start connecting everything back as it was originally. So first we'll connect the screen. There are two connections here. When you're putting the screen back, first goes in the bottom and then the rest of it. So the holes need to line up, and we're gonna put back those two silver bolts that hold it in place. Now we can reinstall our vents, and we're just gonna put them in without putting the bolts in yet because we're gonna test the system. So next we're gonna secure the head unit in place. So we're gonna first begin with these connections at the back of the climate control. So over here, this connection, again, it has to be unlocked and then you lock it in place. Same with this one. And then there's the smaller one that goes towards the driver's side. Next, we have one connection here on the passenger side for ambient lighting. On the driver's side, we have this one for the gear selector indicator. There are two more here. So first, we're gonna clip back this wire over here in the middle. And then we're gonna plug in this connection. So this one is the last one right here. Now we're gonna carefully maneuver our leather shift boot out of the bottom. Make sure not to scratch it. And now we can put everything in. So make sure that first you put this panel right, and you clip it in right around the stereo, and then you work your way down towards the middle. As you can see, everything lines up here with the holes, and at this point, that's when we're gonna put the car back to park. This we're not gonna put back yet because we need to secure it, and now we're ready to test everything. So we turned the ignition on, and you just gotta make sure that everything works in the original Mercedes system. And now I'm gonna press and hold the back button here, and you're gonna get an extra mode which you didn't have before appear on your screen. So that's the mode for our kit, and we're gonna first test by the wire, make sure that it charges, but later we're gonna pair wirelessly. So as you can see now, you can see CarPlay on the screen. We're gonna be controlling it with the original controls here. So you're gonna test everything, that everything works as it should. So you can go through the apps, you're gonna test your music. In order to hear music from CarPlay or Android Auto, the original system needs to be set to Bluetooth, and this exact phone that is used for CarPlay or Android Auto has to be paired to the original Bluetooth of the car. That's how we're able to get the sound in. So now that we tested everything, now we can do final assembly. So first we're gonna secure our vents. Reinstall these covers, remember left and right based on part numbers. Now we can secure it here. So the shorter bolts go towards the front of the car, the longer ones go right below. Now you can reinstall this leather boot. So first we're gonna make sure that it clips in at the front, and then the sides and the back. So as you can see, it's good. And the last two bolts are right here. And this cover you put in first so it slides under, and then clip it in. So the installation has been completed. We paired our iPhone wirelessly. As you can see, there's no cable, and now you can enjoy Apple CarPlay or Android Auto in your Mercedes SLK. I hope you liked the video, and we'll see you next time.